Gotta mute my phone too. All right, I'm speaking with Bobby Nash, who just picked up a win at a XFC 43. Bobby, thanks for so much for taking the time to talk. Congratulations on the win. I see. I interviewed another fighter. It looks like you guys are all rocking the XFC swag.
That's right, man. We love it, dude. We love it.
Yeah. I mean, it looks like they're doing everything that, like from my point of view, as somebody that's been watching this sport for a while, it looks like they've taken all the best things from what you're seeing as far as like tournaments, and you have the young guns, which is kind of like the Contender Series thing, and you know what I mean, and then the featured fights. So I mean, you're in the welterweight tournament, right?
Yes, I am in the welterweight tournament for XFC. Yeah.
So you just picked up a win, which means you advance. Are you going to be back on that February card?
So yeah, as far as I know, I'm supposed to be fighting February 15th. I'm not quite sure where the location is yet, but I am in the semifinals. I won via TKO knockout over Spencer Jab. So now I'm in the semifinals, and I'm going to fight Ryan Dixon.
I was actually looking for. Thanks for letting me know that, because I was actually looking for the bracket to see who you're facing next. I know because your fight was on the. It's on YouTube now, but
Yeah.
It was on the Fight TV preliminary portion.
Yes.
It was a great event from start to finish. But so can you just, because you've been fighting for like 10 years already? You got a 10-4 record,
Yeah.
and so can you just talk about? I mean, I know you fought in RFA, UFC, WXC. So I mean, how did you find yourself with Extreme Fighting Championships?
So yeah, I've had a pretty extensive career. Had 14 amateur fights, went 14-0. I have a college wrestling background where I wrestled at Michigan State, and then from there, fought in the UFC. And then I got a call from XFC. They were interested in me, and they kind of gave me the rundown. They had these big dreams and goals with their promotion. I thought it was really cool. So I was like, you know what? I kind of wanted to run with it. And man, what's good? Sorry, my computer's acting up, dude. Oh my god.
That's all right.
Technical issues. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Where did you go? Give me 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that. But yeah, man, right. I love XFC, dude. It's a really cool promotion, and they gave me an opportunity to fight in their tournament, and I really like the idea of a tournament, and I really like how passionate they are with their promotion and like the future they see. So I was like, yeah, man, let's do it. So here I am now with them.
Yeah, so it's pretty amazing just because of like it's their first event on NBC Sports, but they already had the event number 43. So being new to the channel, there's folks that are like, I mean, what happened to the other 42 events? Right. But it is, I think one thing that folks need to understand, they should go to the XFC website to check it, because this is like their rebranding. Like they're not trying to do what everyone else is doing. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it seems like you and the other fighters I spoke to are excited about that. I mean, what did they tell you about the rebranding, and like, was it the tournament that they specifically wanted you for?
Well, man, I mean, dude, they have big goals, man. They want to be the #1 promotion. They want to be the best, and there's a lot of top tier promotions out there, and they want to be right there with them. And I really believe they will be, man. They're paying their fighters well. They're doing a tournament style. They got live on NBC Sports, which is huge, And the thing is that was XFC 43, but they had a ton of fights in Brazil, and the promotion is very big in Brazil. And they bring on good guys. I mean, everyone in the 155-pound tournament is really tough. Everyone in the welterweight tournament is really tough. So they're just a promotion that is definitely on the rise, if not there right now. I'm just excited to see within the next year, maybe 2 years, to see where this promotion is. And I'm just really excited, like happy to be a part of it. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely an event that I do a podcast with someone that calls himself a super fan, and even he was just like, what they're doing there was so fresh and new. It's easy to be excited for what they're doing, especially with NBC Sports. It's funny because the energy you have is very similar. I spoke with Kenny Cross, who's in the 55 tournament, and even he was like he's got the same energy where it's just like he actually said, and I'm quoting him, he said it's the most fun he's ever had in any fight that he's ever done. Do you share that sentiment?
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed with how well they treated us. You know, we were at a really nice hotel. We walk into a hotel and I have this big blow up of me, you know, of me throwing an elbow. Kenny Cross has a big blow up of them. You know, they really highlight their fighters, which I thought was really cool. So every time anyone walks into the hotel, they're like, oh, cool, man, there's fights going on. You know, they had us in downtown Atlanta, you know, everything. I thought it was really cool. The production was really good. And you know, I was happy with it. I was impressed. I was a little iffy at first. You know, I'm like, oh man, they want me to go in this tournament and sign this long contract. Oh, it's kind of sketchy. You know, I'm going to be kind of with this promotion long time. And I kind of talked to them. I'm like, hey, you know, I'd really like to date you guys before I marry into this promotion. You know, but they were like, oh, you know, they kind of like, hey, live on NBC Sports, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, you know, whatever, I'll give it a shot. And, you know, like I said, man, fight night, everything leading up to it, I was actually really impressed. And definitely excited to see where the tournament comes out, where the promotion ends up going. So, you know, like even the after party, man, they had a bunch of beer, a bunch of food, a bunch of people all together. I was like, this is pretty cool, man.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I know you said you're fighting Ryan Dixon next. When I spoke with Cross about he said he was in a lot of the same shared space with guys that he knows he's probably going to wind up be fighting. Was that the same case with you and Dixon? And did you have any interactions with him?
I had a little bit of interactions with him, and you know, it didn't bother me at all. I don't care if he's there. You know, I think he's a pretty cool dude, man. He's Canadian. All Canadians are pretty nice guys, you know. So he was a pretty good, cool dude, you know. Like even fight week when I see him, I'll be like, hey, what's up, Matt Ryan? How's it going? You know, there's no animosity towards him. I don't like to really give off, how do I put it? I don't like to waste my energy on that. You know, there's so much energy that you can expel 3-4 days out, seeing someone and getting all worked up. Save that for the fight, man. You know, save that for the fight. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. You know, it's different. It's cool.
Yeah. Do you think that the choice to like you said, you didn't want to marry into them, you know, without seeing a little more first, but I mean, did what's going on with the whole COVID situation kind of help motivate you? Like, let me get something going. When you look at, because if you look at this NBC Sports and the PFL used to be there and they didn't do anything this year, and a lot of their fighters are unhappy. You're in a situation where you're on a network that wants MMA, and you know they're getting you. You just had your fight now, and you know you're going to have one in February. You know, hopefully if everything goes well. So did that help with the decision and moving forward with them?
Well, you know, I can definitely say it did because I was so eager to fight with COVID. You know, there's no fights going on. And, you know, I actually had a fight for CFFC and I was the main event and I was training for that, went 8 weeks, you know, and I was a pound over. I was cutting weight. I was in my sweats, sweating, dripping sweat. I get a phone call. I'm 1 pound over. And I said, hey, you're not fighting. I'm like, well, what the hell? What do you mean I'm not fighting? They're like, your opponent had COVID.
Wow.
So that was a bummer. You know, it's already been a year since I fought. So now I'm like, okay, well, that fight fell through. And then a couple months went by and nothing. And, you know, then I got this opportunity. Like I said, I was worried. I was like, hey, man, I don't know if I want to marry into this promotion yet. However, I was like, dude, I really want to fight, you know. When's the next time I'm going to fight? You know, and there's still a lot of the tournament left, but as so far, you know, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with Byron, who's the president, and you know, like I said, it's tough for people to get fights right now. And you know, XFC gave me the opportunity to fight, gave me a platform, and so far they're doing well.
Yeah. I didn't get any ratings numbers or anything like that, but from what I saw, like I was talking about it for the next 3 days after. I was super impressed with it. One thing I wanted to ask you, and I know we talked about your record and how long you've been fighting. Given with all the new things XFC is trying, what's changed for you in the sport overall that you've noticed that you've kind of had to adapt to?
Oh man, just having fun with the sport now, going there and having fun. And I used to have so much energy, like at the weigh-ins and the pre-fight, like 3-4 days out, everything. I was just like all hyped up. Now I'm just like relaxed and just be like, hey man, I've been there, because you just burn so much energy that you're just exhausted come fight day. So I just grew up as a fighter. I matured mentally and physically. And definitely skill wise, I'm just a completely different fighter than I was 3 years ago. Just completely different, especially mentally. When I was in the UFC, I was 26, man. 2 years into my pro career. I went to the UFC 2 years into my pro career, man. I was a rookie. Here I am 30 now, and I'm just like getting in my physical and mental prime. So yeah, just basically just my mentality is much different, and I'm just going into these fights enjoying myself and having fun. So that's the big take I've had in these past few years.
I feel like that's something that helps a lot of fighters. When you look at, I mean, if you're looking at like it just what you just said reminded me of something Paul Felder just said when he just fought recently. I mean, he lost that fight, but his attitude and energy couldn't have been better, and it seems like it's because he just stepped away and he actually said the same thing you just said about I'm having fun with it again. And I mean, you look like you had fun at XFC 43.
I mean, if you get a knockout, you're always having fun, dude. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. And I remember Kenny Cross. We're training partners. We go to the same gym, and I was walking out with him, and I was like, Kenny, I was like, dude, we aren't going to be able to do this much longer, man. This isn't something we do for the rest of our life. Enjoy this shit, man. This is cool as hell. And you can see it kind of perked him up. And my brother Randy always tells me, he's like, hey, Bobby, enjoy this. Have fun. You don't get to do this forever. And I really try to like remind myself of that, because when you're in that back room and you're on deck, dude, you get nervous, man. You're like, oh man, I'm about to fight. Oh, you get really nervous. When you kind of just be like, hey, man, I'm not going to be able to do this forever. Enjoy this. Enjoy those jitters. Enjoy that nervous energy, because guess what? You're not going to 4, 5, 6 years from now, you ain't going to have that, and you're going to wish you did. So that's the big thing, is just having fun, man. Having fun and just performing. No matter what, win, lose, just go out there and perform. And I believe if I go out there and I just perform, I think I'm going to do really well. I know I'll do well. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, if that first fight's any indication, for sure. I got to tell you what, I mean, you even got me a little excited just with that speech you just gave.
Right.
What was I going to ask you? I got my question. That's why I keep looking away. I didn't know that you and Cross were training partners, so that makes a lot of sense. Because I did notice you were from the same area. So are there a few guys from your gym there, or?
Well, there's me and Cross are training partners, and we're both in the XFC. But I mean, we have a ton of guys that train out there. Like, someone you might know is like Darren Cruikshank. He's a superstar. He's one of my big sparring partners, which has been huge for my striking. Jason Fisher, who's a BJJ black belt. Just a number of other guys. But yeah, it's really cool. Sharing this experience with a guy in the 155-pound tournament, and here I am in a welterweight tournament. And, obviously our goal is both to win the tournament, and it'd be really cool if we both won the tournament and we were in the same gym. That'd be huge.
Yeah, but definitely put the gym on the map. That's for sure. Like, when I was looking at your fight history and stuff, people have you touted as no one got to really see it with the last fight, but they said that your base is wrestling. Even though you got the TKO win, so is that still hold true? Or do you feel like you've evolved as a well-rounded mixed martial artist?
Well, I'm definitely a well-rounded mixed martial artist. I mean, I can strike, I can grapple, I can do it all. that being said, I mean, I started as a wrestler. I didn't take my first fight until I was like 21. And I mean, when I was an amateur, and all I did when I was I got 14-0 as an amateur, and all I did was wrestle. I might throw a wide overhand right, but I started dialing in my striking a little bit, and I realized, oh shit, I got a lot of power in these hands, and it doesn't take as much cardio, throwing punches as it does wrestling, So I kind of started, and I was knocking people out, so I really started falling in love with it. However, I got a little immature with it though, because I was, in the regional scene, I was knocking people out, and I knew just enough to get knocked out. You know what I'm saying? Like I knew just enough. So I would go into the UFC against these high-level guys who are strikers who I probably should have been wrestling. And, I kind of let I don't know if maybe my ego or if maybe I was immature, and I would go out there and strike with these guys, and I wasn't quite at their level. Then I got to Michigan Top Team. Once I got to Michigan Top Team, I got with Kara Rowe, who's my boxing coach, and she has done so much with my hands and my confidence, my speed, my defensive responsibility. And I mean, I still see myself as that wrestler because I come from that wrestling base, but I love throwing these hands, dude. I absolutely love throwing them. I know they have power, and I'm evolving so much with my striking, and I really like the boxing aspect of striking. So, definitely well-rounded. I know it all. I can do it all. But man, I really like to throw hands, man. That's what I really like to do. That being said, I will wrestle if I have to.
I mean, I guess we kind of got that from the last fight that you like throwing hands, but the one thing I mean, when you're talking about your past, I mean, the one thing I've noticed that I mean, as someone that trains as a hobbyist, anyone that comes from wrestling that has a strong wrestling background, it's almost like there's this natural explosive power in your hands because of all the explosive movements you did wrestling all those years. Is that true? Did you find that to be true?
Well, yeah, I mean, in wrestling, when you hit a double leg, you're exploding. When you hit a single leg, you're exploding. All our movements are go, 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 go. So when we throw those hands, it's for it's explosive. It just translates well. An explosive movement, in wrestling, we take that explosive movement in wrestling and we translate it to our striking, and we have these explosive combinations. And, I think it just gives you a lot of knockout power, because you see a lot of wrestlers who aren't necessarily, you can't really say they're like these great strikers, but they have they just have a lot of power in their hands, Justin Gaethje's a wrestler, but
yeah,
he's got some powerful hands.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely a trend that I feel like goes unnoticed, but so I mean, tentatively, I guess February 15th is XFC 44. I don't know if I've been following them, and I don't know if they've said anything, but obviously with everything going on right now and with the COVID, I mean, I assume everything is up in the air, but hopefully, I mean, well, we know it's going to be February. Looking forward to it. I mean, I hope they get you on the NBC portion. If not, then Fight TV is where it'll be.
I talked to Myron, the president, and he says, man, he's like, I messed up, dude. He's like, you're a main card fighter. I'm like, damn straight. I'm like, come on, get me on the main card. So that being said, I will be on the main card, NBC Sports.
Nice.
For February card.
Fantastic. Thanks again so much for the time, Bobby. If you don't mind, just feel free to shout out your sponsors, your gym, and anyone else you want to give a shout out to.
Shout out to my family. Shout out to XFC. Shout out to Gittins Remodeling. Shout out to just Michigan Top Team and all my coaches. And thank you for having me on today.
No problem. Thank you for making the time on a Friday night. I appreciate it.
Oh, not a problem.
Stay warm, stay safe, and we'll see you in February.
Sounds good, man. See you later.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.